We go live. Oh, we did it. I figured it out. Welcome to the second ever live stream on the Tony Squares NFL channel. And this is a special one. This is a very unique, a very fun one because if you've been paying attention, there has been a fantasy football reality show that has taken over the summer. And for whatever reason, me, myself, and the man to my left on your screen, or maybe right on your screen, I don't know, StreamYard's still mirroring things. We threw our hats into the ring to try and be the next fantasy football voice. And so you think you can tout. And Cups, after today, me and you have made the final three. And I just wanted to talk about everything that has gone on since the past 4 months of our lives. But first off, from Paris to back to California, congratulations. You've survived, my man. Congratulations on making the final.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Tony. And thanks for having me on the Tony Squares NFL channel. Good to see the content up and running on this channel and happy to be here. Yeah, like you said, it's been quite the journey over the past couple months. Obviously, multiple countries. You also go in between LA to Seattle to all over the place for the World Cup coverage. And so we've seen the behind the scenes setups of what we're working with on these trips, like for these challenges, propping up the laptop on a cereal box or whatever the hell you had going on over there, man. It's been a grind. It's been a grind. And I mean, to see it all kind of come down to this, to the top three full circle. Wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't have it any other two people at the end with me. I think we're down to a solid three, and I'm looking forward to seeing the final round and how it goes, all the pitches and everything. So yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah. I mean, I talked to, actually, I'm not going to tell you who I talked to because it's a hidden source I may have used to help me shape my pitch. But I was talking to a person who was in the competition, and I was saying how, because I was going to have the live stream with you later, and I do want to talk to Tyler as well, PPR Tyler, the other person in the final three. And I don't feel like we're competing against each other anymore. Like, I truly believe whoever wins this final pitch, it's based on programming and like what Pete wants to add to the show. You know what I mean? So like, I have no fear talking with you about what the plans are or being open up. I'm not going to reveal on this show on the live stream. I'm going to save it for Peter's channel, but I have no, like, I feel like we've reached such a high point in it that we've accomplished what we've wanted to accomplish. And I don't know if you feel the same way.
100%. I mean, and like Pete mentioned it in the most recent, the video that dropped today, obviously. Just like all three of us are so different in everything we bring. Like, I think at the end of the day, the one through line we have on the three of us is like, we're all pretty easy to talk to. We all can bring a good vibe on camera, not get rattled super easily. But I think at the end of the day, like, the content we would bring to Pete's channel is all so inherently different and from a different angle. And it really just comes down to, like you said, like, it's really just what Pete wants and what he's looking for out of the winner of this. But as you mentioned, like, there ain't no losing at this point. Like I mentioned, I had a tweet an hour ago. Like, I don't see losing really in the range of outcomes from here. It's like, everything's been such a big win just to get this far and like get the exposure and make the connections and all that, that like, whatever happens. Like, I'm totally at peace with it. And we're just going to put our best foot forward and see what happens. But I totally agree with everything that you said.
It's so unique too, seeing the three of us. Not only do we bring a unique flavor to what we could potentially add to Peter's channel, but our road in this competition, because again, I cover reality TV for a living. I talk about Survivor. I talk about the winner's edit and what this winner did to deserve this victory. Should it have gone to another person? And those shows end in a final three as well. So there's always three different cases of who deserves to be there. And it's so funny that the three of us are here because at various points throughout this competition, we all were this close to being out. And Tyler was out, like Tyler was eliminated. You and Randus after duos week had to go against each other immediately. Like also we lost the challenge, the Survivor challenge together. I had my flub with the Kitchens challenge. Like, there was constantly, none of us had a perfect record. So it's very funny to see that at no point in the competition, like, we were always safe. So it's been, I don't know how you've handled it going to Paris and back, but it's been an absolute stressful. No, I mean, it's been rewarding, but it has been a very, very stressful few months trying to make all of this work. Have you felt sort of that stress creeping in?
Well, more than I could ever imagine. Like, yeah, I thought that might have been where you were going with that. But the past like
Yeah.
couple months, as rewarding as they've been, it's like I've had multiple nights like pre-challenge where I like can't sleep, or if I do sleep, I'm straight up like dreaming about flubbing the challenge, or like having nightmares about just forgetting what I'm going to say and just ruining it. Like, what's the worst possible thing that could happen? Like, let's think about that.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of been
Yeah.
it's been in a way kind of nice to like have something to be nervous or anxious about again, and for the first time in a while, which I think is kind of a thing that happens to a lot of adults that have like good careers. And like, this is me just, I'm blessed, obviously, like with what I do on a day-to-day basis, and like
Yep.
my friends and family. I don't have a ton to worry about. Like I'm feeling really good in my life, and obviously very blessed to say that, but it's so nice to be able to like have something that gets the nerves going again. Like back when we played sports, like, you know, the butterflies you'd get under a big pressure moment, like those type of
100%.
things.
Yep.
Like it's funny to say this does that for me, you know. It's like, and I
Yep.
think that's something that probably means it's worth pursuing when you feel that way about so strongly about something like this and like get nervous about it. So I'm totally on board with you. It's been a very nerve-wracking couple months, but at the end of the day, it's like all good nerves, and I think it just shows that it's worth it.
It shows that it means something. Absolutely. I'm right there with you, dude. And I do want to touch on the first part of what you said there when it comes to like the sleepless nights and the worrying about the flubs. That's going to happen in like no matter what we do for work, whether it's talking
Yeah.
online about football or anything else, you're going to have those nerves come up in your life. But for me, what I was surprised the most was how much. So I'll put it this way. I thought I was out of this competition 3 times during this run. The first time was during duos week because basically, I mean, you were a lock as well from your submission. We got told we were a lock, and then all right, the next time we're gonna hear from you guys is duos week. So you know you can do what you want. You can join the Discord channel. You can like make some stuff on the side, but like the next time you're in the competition is duos week. So I was dealing with all my Survivor stuff. I was like, cool, see you then. And then
Yeah.
I come back. Me and Neil do our thing. And I start paying attention to like the rickadoozles of the world who are making betting boards and like people are
Right.
putting out their power rankings. And me and Neil were out. We were gone before the video even existed. We were like, oh, they're the easy cuts. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I am? I haven't done anything. So I remember watching that duos week live on YouTube. It was on my laptop. I was in my kitchen and literally like yelling, like verbally yelling in joy when they said we got the perfect, like the best score. You're moving on to the
Yep.
next round. Cause I was convinced that everyone in the Discord knew something that I didn't. And so when we moved on, I was like, okay, MFers, it's time to play. Like, let's go. You
Yeah.
doubted me once, I'm out. And then of course, the opposite of that was when the kitchen situation happened. And I
Right.
recorded a video immediately after that live stream and I put it, I think, on my Twitter. And like I genuinely thought I lost the competition. And we had to wait a few days. That's been such a unique part about this is that we are as much in the dark as the viewers are, like of
100%.
like who's moving on and who's not. So I
Yeah.
had to sit with that for a few days as people have watched it, as the people, the rickadoozles of the world that have now moved me up the rankings now have to move me back down because I'm like, I'm out. It's over.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I had to do a World Cup game the next day. And I brought that energy in with me to the job. I was a fucking dick for the first few
Yeah.
hours on the job until I like let it out of my system and focused on the job at hand because I felt like I had just dropped the ball so much. And like I was amazed. I knew it would affect me because I'm a very competitive guy and I want this really bad, but I was amazed at how much the highs were high and the lows were low about this competition. But did that get to
Absolutely,
you? Because
man.
I feel like you're much more even keeled than I am.
No, I mean, maybe I portray that. I definitely
Yeah.
feel the nerves and like feel the highs and the lows a lot. But I guess like there hasn't been really, the only challenge I left that I was like, holy shit, that was so bad, was when I had like the Xavier Worthy hot dog thing. And I'm just like, I left that. Also, one thing I never brought up. Obviously I was in France for that challenge. It was 1
Mhm.
a.m. after the France opening match in World Cup. And I was toasted, man. I probably had like 8 to 9 beers at the pub watching the first match. And I'm like, all right, this is good. Like we'll go back. We'll get ready to rock and do
Uh-huh.
this. We get back to the hotel and I get my laptop I'm like, I had a whole plan the whole time. Like I was scoping out the hotel we were at like a couple days before, like trying to figure out where I'm going to do this. Obviously, we knew it
Yeah.
was going to happen at this time on this day. And they had like a downstairs, like a little lobby area. And they had like little like plug-in desks for you to set up like a hybrid workspace or whatever. So I just did that. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go sit there. It's gonna be great. What I didn't anticipate is this hotel having a watch party for the World Cup, and people were absolutely geeked. Obviously, still at 1 a.m. The lobby is filled with people that are drunk and
Uh-huh.
loud. And I'm like, oh boy, like I might have to make like a last minute audible. At this point, it's like 5 minutes before we're supposed to hop on the stream. I try to go to like downstairs to where they have these conference rooms, and this
Yeah.
big French security guard is just like, no, you can't be down here. You can't be down here. And I'm just like, I'm kind of getting pissed. I'm like, I'm paying a lot for this hotel. Like I have a work call, work, aka fantasy football. I'm like, I got to find somewhere to do this. Like my wife's upstairs sleeping. I can't do this in the room. Like you guys have to have somewhere I can take this call. And he's like, no, we don't have anywhere. It's like, you gotta get out of here. I'm like, okay. So we went into like the room with Pete, and he tells us about the challenge. He's like, you're going to get called back and you have to hop into the room immediately. Right. And if you don't hop in immediately for your debate, you could get penalized for that. So
Yep.
I'm like sprinting around this hotel.
Yep.
And I could get a text from Pete at any time. I'm sprinting with my laptop, like 10 beers deep, to try to find somewhere to go take this call. So needless to say, I was like rattled the entire time. And I'm lucky I got through the first round of the debate. Like I had literally sat down in my hotel room, like taking like 3 deep breaths. It's like pitch black. My wife's sleeping. I'm like, all right, I gotta like lock in, because I'm going to get a text from Pete right now to hop into this room and like do a debate. So I did the debate, and then, I was just never in the right headspace that entire night to do any of those. So I was lucky I could have got eliminated that night. If I lose to Goofy, it's probably over, So it's just crazy how much things could have changed on like a one challenge basis. And there was multiple that, it could have been a totally different 5 people, I feel like, just depending on one thing going differently, So just lucky to be here is all I gotta say.
I agree in the fact that the ups and downs of the challenges, like imagine if you weren't with the person you were with during duos week. Like if I didn't have Neil, I mean, we collaborated on that. I truly believe it was a 50-50 effort, but like if I don't have Neil, I don't know if I move on in duos week. I just think our unique combination worked so well that it excelled both of us. So all that stuff that was joining in, I do have to say, as you were going through an amazing story from France, we do have PPR Tyler here saying, appreciate the invite, guys. Tyler, the last time I talked to you, you left me on red, and it's been a long time since then. So I've been, I have an olive branch with cups. He did stab me in the back during Survivor Week, but we've moved past that, and we are definitely better on the outside. Maybe it's because we're both California boys. We can both meet at 6 p.m. On the West Coast and not have to worry about it. But if Tyler's available and wants to hop on and talk about his experience being kicked out, or not kicked out, I should say booted, and then brought back in, and now in the finals. Like that's a unique experience as well. So I'd love to talk to him if he is available. Feel free. I'll find a way to add a third box in this StreamYard build, because Lord knows I've never done any of this before. First off, pat me on the back for building what we have right now. I think it's a very nice two-box stream.
This is a good looking setup, bro. This is better than mine. I got the basic StreamYard setup with the blue background, I think. But yeah, I'm all for if PPR wants to hop on, get this guy in here, man.
Absolutely, get him in. I'd love to have him in there. I will say, speaking of like last second moves and trying to figure it out, coming back from Seattle, I literally landed the day of Davis's stream and then had Peter's the next day and then mine the following day. I went as late as I could that Thursday because I had to get all my shit in order. And I mean, you've taken the trip recently. I was gone for 30 days. So like landing back in LA and immediately having life start again, like, okay, let's go. Like, let's figure things out, and also having to do this. I on Wednesday after I was on Peter's stream, I did a couple of mock streams on mine because I knew what I wanted to do for the idea, and my computer, nothing was working. Like the little laptop I have, it sounds like it's going to blow up now just going live. Like I need to upgrade that thing. it was just like burning, and then like having to do the underdog draft and have StreamYard, and like, how do I see the comments, how do I do this? I ran to Best Buy cups and spent far too much money on a completely unnecessary second screen. Like, I'm sure if I had time I could free cycle one and just get a one that's
Yeah.
like from like a bar or something that no one's using anymore. Instead, I now have a second screen. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it worth its price. But I had to buy one, and so like I'm hooking that up. I'm like trying to figure out where do I put things, and then boom, we had to go on Thursday.
Dang.
So like, I
Wow.
feel like we've all had those rolling with the punches moments during this.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And going back to like duos week 2, I know you mentioned you felt like you were lucky to pull Neil and be able to get through, get the highest score. Obviously, that was a great duo that you guys had. I felt like I was lucky to get Rambus because I felt like we were so like we were like fire and ice. Like we're just so
yeah,
different. You know, we could not be
yeah.
more different in the ways we A approach fantasy football and B just like go about our lives. Like I feel like we're very different, but we get along so well. Um,
Yeah.
and I was like watching the first episode. I'm like, all right, you know, we were locks. Like we're going into episode 1. I felt like Ramus and I killed it. Like the live chat is going nuts when ours is up. I'm like, all right, like this is great. Like I was so stoked, and like I'm
Yep.
sitting back on my couch, like, wow, we ain't going anywhere. And then it just keeps getting worse. It was just like, oh, they're safe, they're safe, they're safe. There's one spot left.
Yeah.
And it just the fact that like week 1, it came down to a Rambus Cups head-to-head vote was just, I mean, it just goes to
That
show
was
it's like
crazy.
literally one judge giving a 3 like on a whim. You know, like Levitan gave us a 3 on a whim, just like, not sure I'm the biggest fan of Rambus. They could get a 3. The whole show is just different, you know, like depending
Yep.
on these little things. It's like a butterfly effect, you know? So it's just, yeah, crazy stuff. I mean, what an experience.
I was 100% with you. We've talked about this off the air because I was really close with you and Rambus almost immediately. Like I wanted to collab
Yeah.
with a stream with you guys as I was getting back into it, and I did not think that you and Rambus deserved to be in that position from get go, and it was because of that one random vote, that one random judge. And again,
Yeah.
I think Peter's running this for the first time, and I think he's realizing a couple of things as he goes. Like, oh man, that 1-3 can ruin either Cups or Rambus, two guys that could genuinely be in this for the long haul. So like, I think if
Yeah.
Peter ever runs this again, he's going to tweak a little bit, a little things here and there.
It's just
And that
hard
could
though
be
to
one of
not,
them.
you
Yeah,
can't, I feel like he'll get flack if he tries to puppeteer it too much, you know, because at the end of the day,
correct.
you're a Survivor guy. I actually like, I started watching, this is funny. I started watching Survivor for the first time in my life since I met you because I'm like, damn, like this actually looks pretty interesting. So I'm going in and I've watched 2 seasons. I watched Boston Rob's season where he meets his wife. That was cool. And then I
Hmm.
watched now I'm watching the Heroes. We watched All Stars season
Yep.
23. I don't know. Heroes versus Villains, which is what we're on right now. The
Yep.
one where it's you know, Hans and
Yep.
Coach and
Yep.
all those guys. I mean, I'm so hooked on the Survivor stuff. It's
Have
great.
I told you how that journey like started? Because I can do the quick 2-minute version of it because it's crazy. Because I am not much more of a fan than you are. Like I have not been long in this Survivor world, right?
Really?
So I did not start watching Survivor until about April or March of last year. And a buddy of mine said, I think I did tell you a part of this. A buddy of mine said I should make Survivor videos because it was a new
Yeah.
season coming up. I should treat it like it's sports. And so I think it was season 48. I started watching. I started making sports recaps from the videos from the live episodes. People loved it. And so then I went back and watched every single season for
Yeah.
49 straight weeks leading to season 50 with recaps on my page. I was unemployed, so I had the time because it
Wow.
is a lot of television, but we
Yeah.
powered through that thing, and people really enjoyed it, and it exploded my page and my place in that Survivor world. So, like, when people say, like, oh, I just started watching Survivor, I feel a kinship towards you, brother, and I can go through
Wow.
any season you want to, what you should watch and when you should watch it, because I know we have a couple of Survivor fans out there
Yeah. Oh my
that love the
gosh.
show.
I
But
didn't
yeah,
realize
man,
that it
it's
was literally a year ago. You said last
yeah,
March? Like a
yeah,
year and a couple months is when you first
yeah.
watched your first episode. Wow. And amassed
crazy.
60,000 subscribers since then, or followers on Instagram.
Yeah, I had about 30,000 on Instagram just from the NFL stuff I was doing. And so it
Okay.
just basically doubled with the Survivor content. And then my TikTok about the
Dang.
same thing. Like I had about 15K and it's now up to like 30 whatever because of the Survivor thing brought me into a new world. The problem is now, and you know, as people who make content will understand, if you don't keep feeding the niche that it's working for you in the algorithm, the videos stop working. So like my stuff on football now gets no traction on my channel because it's being fed to like, you know, Idaho moms that want to watch
The
Survivor.
Survivor
you know,
people,
they're like,
yeah.
and they're clicking out. So I get it. I'm gonna have to start a second channel and all the other things, but that's what we did with the YouTube. We started an NFL channel and diving into it. So I do love that people still want PPR Tyler. If you can't tell by now, PPR Tyler came in, said that comment, and then
And he's
dipped. He
out.
wanted no
He's
part.
gone.
He wanted no part of this conversation. I do want to say, Cups, though, you brought up how like you think any five could really, based on the challenges, be in this final five. And I do kind of disagree with you. I think we left some good players along the way, like the Rambuses of the world. I thought Mitchell was really good. Goofy Chicken was really good. But I do think we boiled it down to, especially that final five, as like a really strong and deserving final five. And for O'Hara and for Emo Cowboy, because you've worked with them on the side a bunch too, like I I'm not joking, man. Like I thought I said when the building up to this, I thought I was out 3 times during this competition. I thought I
Yeah,
was out going from 5 to 3 because I thought you were obviously a finalist. I've thought that since the start. I think O'Hara's really effing good at this. Tyler as well.
definitely.
And I think Emo Cowboy, there's the reason he got booted was given pretty well on Peter's stream, but I think he's really good. And I thought he
Yeah.
was, in my opinion, better than PPR Tyler at this competition. And I think he deserves a spot in the finals and isn't going to get that chance. But I thought he was really good, and I thought I lost out to him a couple of times. So what do you think about O'Hara and Cowboy and how they performed?
Yeah, man. No, I think like you said, like the final five, I felt like it could have really been anyone moving on. I also thought I was out. I bet everyone thought they were out going from 5 to 3. I mean, chopping it in half, like if you're feeling good going in from 5 to 3, you're probably just lying to yourself. Like I didn't feel
Yeah.
good. I was pretty confident I was going to on a call with Pete and like he would tell me it's over, you know, and I was ready for it.
Can
I
we
mean,
just say, sorry to interrupt. Can we just say fuck Pete for a second? Because at no point does he give us any clue whether we're good or bad. It's just like, hey, you have a call. Sign up for this time slot. We're going to have a phone call. No idea what's going to come out of the phone call.
No.
Fucking hell, man.
No. Oh, speaking of having no idea what's going to come out of the phone call, did you see how he ended the episode today? He's like, maybe we have a couple more tricks up our sleeves. And he threw up a weird like this to go out. I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro? What are we doing? So now I'm like tripping about the final. I'm like, I thought we were past the twist, past the, past the big hurdles we got to jump over out of nowhere. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it's going to end like it started, just with an absolute twist. So,
I hope not, man. I'm
man.
done with the twists. People are saying it would have been Emo had he not revived PPR. I do believe that. I think Emo kind of screwed himself over there. I understand like they have a thing on the side that they're trying to build the Toxic Tower, and good for them for doing so. But I do believe Emo. If Emo hadn't brought PPR Tyler back, I think we might even go to Final 2, and I think Emo's got a real good chance of being in there as well. But yeah, Emo not being in there and Tyler is. Not to say Tyler's not deserving. Tyler's really, really good at streaming and talking ball and all that stuff. I will say
also, I want to go back one time, Tony, real quick to Mo.
Go.
I just want to say about Mo, like he's the one guy in this top 5 that I feel, I could be totally wrong about this, but my vibe of like Michael O'Hara is that he saw this announcement from Pete and was just like a normal dude with zero content background. It was like, oh, this seems cool. Like I'll throw my hat in the ring. And then just turns out to be just like one of the most naturally gifted like dudes ever. Like I think Michael O'Hara has been like seriously slept on. And I can also say like Max Adam, similar cloth, I feel like, cut from the same cloth as Michael O'Hara. 2 guys that have like zero content background and have just like shown that they literally, you can tell when someone has it. And I feel like Michael O'Hara has it. And
100%.
if he keeps doing this, and they talked about him needing reps and stuff in the last episode, which I agree with, obviously, But it's like for you to just be able to make zero content before and make it to the top 5 with 4 dudes who have been making content for like over a year at least,
Mm-hmm.
it says a lot about just like what you got, you know? So I want to
100%.
shout out, Michael Hara and Max, my boy.
Yeah, no, I like Max too. It's, dude, I have crashed and burned so many times, not just live streams, but like, making content. I've done stand up out here in LA for like, I did that for the first 2, 3 years out here. I've been on stage in theater my entire life since I was growing up. Like, you will F up so many times before you have a rhythm and a feel to it. And the fact that O'Hara, like, watching O'Hara, I would have never believed you if you said, like, yeah, he'd never really done this before. Like, I was like, this guy knows what he's doing. He
100%.
has a channel. He does this all the time. What are you talking about? And so, yeah, he's really, really good, and I agree with you there. I will ask you though, because I know we both have a heart out here. I do want to ask, because this was gave me an idea while I was watching the video today for on Pete's channel. If you could go back and tweak anything, like showcase anything in your game that you didn't get to showcase, is there
Yeah.
anything in there that you think like you didn't, oh man, I should have done that, or maybe I should have showcased that a little bit earlier, would have stuck me out a little bit farther? I understand we made the final, we're here for a reason, but like, do you think
Yeah.
you still missed a part of your game that people aren't seeing?
I think definitely. I think this whole contest, I didn't realize when I signed up for it that it was going to be so best ball focused.
Yeah.
You know, I think where I pride myself is really on like other types of fantasy football. Like I play a ton of dynasty football. I play a ton of redraft. I really think that's just kind of where my content more so lies right now. So it's been great to get like the experience doing the best ball stuff. And I get Pete mentioned in the show as well, this last episode, that it's just kind of like a good background to do a draft, to like learn more about these people and like see how you handle things on the fly. But I would have liked more creative control over the challenges in a couple
Mm.
ways, like letting us like have some creative reign to go out there and like come up with a show. And it can be solo, like do your own solo
Hmm.
show, but do it on like whatever the hell you want between 30 and 45 minutes. Cause I would love to just have a chance to literally just spit on dynasty fantasy football for that time and like get
Yeah.
judged on it, you know,
Yeah.
rather than having to tie it into a draft, which I get, like the existing audience right now is best ball focused. So you need to cater to them.
Yep.
But I think just to sum it up, I would have liked like to have a little more creative reign at least once to do specific stuff that I'm more interested in. But yeah, what about you?
I didn't think about that, like showcasing some. I hadn't thought of it that way, because it's always been to me like, I am a task-oriented person, so like I've really liked the, okay, here's the road you have to go down, let's go down it. So, but I fully understand having a more open book. That would be a lot of fun to go down. I will say, his little hand signal at the end, I guess, is a normal hand
Oh,
signal.
wow.
Shows that
Okay.
me and Cups aren't 101 Peter
We're
studiers.
casuals, man.
But thank you for that. Yeah, definitely casuals. The one thing I would have changed, or I would have added to my game, because I love doing this in general, and I used to on my old Survivor Squared YouTube page. I used to do this at the beginning of last season. I love watching the all 22 tape and using it to make points. Like PPR
Okay.
Tyler did that with O'Hara, and Pete brought it up again. The fact that PPR Tyler can do that, that's such a different version of his game. Was like, God damn it, I can do that. Like,
Yeah.
Tyler's going to talk about it in a different way than I am, but I mean, I go back and watch every Green Bay Packers game. That's the team I root for, on the all 22, so I can diagnose the plays that LaFleur is drawing up, because I'm a nerd. I'm not doing this to impress anybody. I'm doing this for my own nerdy benefit, because I'm a maniac when it comes to watching the Packers. So I do love watching the all 22 and diagnosing that and using that to talk about it, and to use it to talk about fantasy angles, I think is a great, great angle. And I mean, maybe there's a way I could do that in the future, and I'll be doing it on this channel for sure with what I have planned breaking down. But like that, going back, I'm like, man, I could have added that, and maybe that would have helped put me in a different reign when it comes to breaking this stuff down. But again, we're only going with what the challenges are laid out in front of us. But man, I gotta say, well, I'll ask you this, because I don't want to be like braggadocious or have bravado here. When you join this, like, I think you gotta imagine you can win this thing. I mean, that whenever you throw your hat in any ring, like if you go into a job interview, like you have to imagine, I'm not only going to get this job, I'm going to win this job. Like, did you After seeing everything in front of you, did you think you were going to make it to the final three? Did you expect to be here?
Man, I mean, I think I'd be lying if I said no. I think
Yeah,
I
that's
when I
okay.
saw everyone's submissions, I definitely was able to pick out ones that I felt were really strong. I'd see one, I'd be like, all right, this guy's like, he's cooked. Or I'd see another one, I'd be like, all right, that's like some legit competition there. Um, and I think they did a good job of whittling it down to the point of like, yeah, pretty much everyone that I saw. There's a couple that didn't make it to at least be on the show, but for the
Yeah,
most part, they did a good job of whittling it down to like who I felt were probably the strongest contenders.
yeah,
Um, but I think I always felt like I had something different from the data approach, right? I
hundred
saw that there
percent.
was like one or two guys that also submitted applications that were data centric that neither of them made it. And I was the only one that made it as like the data guy. And to get put into like the lot category, I
Yeah,
felt really good about like, all right, clearly I have something that Pete's interested in, and I'm bringing it from like I'm the only one that's bringing it, you know. So
yep.
I felt good about that. Granted, now that we've seen how the show's played out, I feel like it literally could have ended any day and I wouldn't have been surprised now knowing like how it went. But I could say at the beginning, I was definitely confident and potentially overconfident. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. I came in definitely confident because I wanted to win this thing. And then when I saw that I was a lock, I was the same way. I was like, okay, I marked my competition. I think I got in touch with you wicked early because again, I thought
Yeah.
you right off the jump, I thought you and Goofy were the two strongest competitors. And I was like, okay, those are the two. That's who I got to take out. And it was fun seeing it all unravel because as you said, man, I thought people grew during this competition. Not only
Oh,
the
yeah.
people who are still in it, but like the O'Haras of the world, the Mitchells of the world, the Nathaniels of the world. Like they got to showcase some of the things that they can do. And then some of the people lost too soon, like the Maxes of the world, the Rambuses of the world. So I think it was an absolute unique experience. I don't know if I would ever want to do it again
For
because
sure.
it was hard. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. It was talking about football. It can't be that hard, but it was stressful. I will say there was a lot of mind energy that went into this, and hopefully it'll pay off, man. I think either way, I read your tweet earlier too. Like, I think either way, win or lose, like we have more W's from this than anything else. And the
Yeah.
advancements we've made in wanting to talk football, wanting to pursue this as a career, to have this work out on our personal channels, whether Peter chooses us or not. That what we're getting back out of that is you can't count, and it's really perfect. So,
Yeah.
what's next on the Cups channel? What's next on the YouTubes?
Man, I mean, there's a lot of things I want to do, but there's also so many things that I feel like the show, I don't want to spoil anything, but the show is definitely going to bring opportunities that are going to take a lot of my time. And I'm trying to figure out how to balance those type of things that
Hmm.
I'm talking to people about and also my personal channel and continuing to grow my brand. So I'm not really sure what's next. I'm going to continue doing like this off season. I'm going to continue doing the prospect breakdowns I've been doing for the last
Hmm.
couple months. And then kind of just like take a step back, figure out what I want to do for the season, because this will be my first full season of like making content during the NFL season,
Yep.
which obviously is when you have the biggest number of eyes on you, the largest number of
Yep.
eyes. Like there's so many football fans that don't tap in until late August, you know?
Yep.
So making content that casts a wide enough net, but it's still not like generic redraft content is kind of what I'm trying to
Yep.
do. Trying to thread a needle there, find some good content that still has like a data spin, but still appeals to a lot of people. I would think that's kind of what I got going on, what I'm looking forward to. Yeah. What about you? What are you thinking post show? Win or lose, what do you have lined up? Anything that you're planning on?
Well, I was telling that secret source earlier today when we were talking. I learned so much from this experience for YouTube alone. Like the fact that I'm going live now and the ability to do that. That's something I've never touched before in any of my channels. And taking that even to my Survivor channel, like there's no reason I'm editing all the stuff that we do. Like we could fix half of that just by pressing live. I don't edit anything anyway. I edit out the little short breaks of air, like
Yeah.
to make my life easier by going live. I've already learned so much there. As for the NFL season, I always, for the past, I mean, since I had my podcast like in 2018, I would break down every single NFL team and do their season-long schedule and go through wins and losses and
Okay,
predict the
nice.
over/under on their win total. So I plan to do that, all 32 of those teams here, and go live. Like one day it'll be the Arizona Cardinals, and I'll go through everything I have on the Cardinals for like 30, 40 minutes, and we'll finish it going through the every game, picking the wins, picking the losses, and telling you whether they go over or under that win total. So like that's my plan for the preseason. And then during the season, like I love sports betting, and it's particularly the NFL. And I am, my Twitter, not Twitter, my TikTok showcases it. I'm not bad at it, and I do want to take some of that content and put it here. Whether
Yeah,
that's fantasy specific, player prop specific, or more picking spreads and actually going deep into how the two teams face off with each other. That's something I've done all my life, and so to bring that here and not have to worry about the editing process of it and having it be a preformed video, but rather just having my stuff ready and pressing go live and having the audience interact with it. That's what I'm excited about. So like, and that I would have never
nice.
done that, Cups, if it wasn't for this. If it wasn't for learning it during this
Yeah,
competition. So I'll take that forever. And Rambus is here saying, my dudes,
there
thank you
he
for coming on,
is.
Rambus.
He
Sorry we're
made it.
not drafting. We both have stuff to do on Friday night. We got both different birthday dinners to go to in the state of California. I'm happy, happy my man is here. And then maybe, I don't know who A-Rod is. This might be an OG fan of the podcast because the Back Up the Brinks Truck segment was a segment we had on the old Left
Oh,
Coasters
there you go.
podcast, the West Coast
Okay.
Gamblers. So we will be backing up the Brinks Truck once again when it comes
Hell
to
yeah.
the daily streams. But yeah, man, you into sports betting at all or no?
I am. Yeah, I'm definitely not like super in the weeds with it. That's something that I feel like I could get more into with the data approach. Obviously, if you play
Yeah,
like volume or play like more of a portfolio approach on the DFS or the parlays and stuff, you can really use data to your advantage, I feel like. But
100%.
it would take a lot of research for me to feel comfortable like starting to do that. So maybe that's something I explore as well in the future over the next couple of months, maybe this season. But yeah, as of right now, it's more just like vibes based, maybe one or two parlays with the buddies on
Yeah,
like a Sunday
yep.
slate. But
No,
yeah, what
makes
was your
sense.
show? What was your show that you had before that was like betting focused? What was that all about?
I did a podcast from about 2018 to 2022 called the Left Coasters originally, and then it transitioned to the West Coast Gamblers. And it was me and my two buddies out here that we would just talk ball all the time. And one of them worked at NPR, still does work at
Oh
NPR
wow,
out here.
okay.
And we would, don't tell the NPR people this, we would sneak into the NPR studios after everyone got out, use his little badge, and record in the full out NPR
No
studio.
way. Wow.
We didn't film anything, it was all audio. And we would just record these and we built segments, and that's where I got all my ideas from. And I was the lead host, and I'd be kicking it over to Dangles and then my buddy Schaefer the Sharp. And they'd like, and they're intelligent football minds. Like they'd come in, my buddy Schaefer the Sharp is all about the numbers and the data, and he'd come in that way. Dangles was very much more like the guy who's just betting on his team and for the love of the game. And then I was
Yeah.
the intermediary. And it was a
Okay.
really fun conversation and a really good like trifecta of people, and it did really well. Like it built, like it started off as just a garage band almost, and it built pretty well. We were sponsored by DraftKings, and we ended up in
Wow.
2020 when everything shut down. Like that's when I bought this microphone, and we bought cameras, and we were doing it from the comfort of our own home. And because it was COVID, everyone was reachable. Like I got to interview Pete Rose for that show. I got to interview Joe Lenardi the day the March Madness brackets came out. Like I got to interview so many cool people because everyone was stuck at home. And then we got to do the West Coast Gamblers from there. So it grew pretty big. Not enough to have us, be doing that for the rest of our lives because my buddy Drew moved back home, started a family. My buddy Dangles is still here. He started a family, and real life took us away, and we decided to
Okay.
move on. And now we're, I transitioned from one thing to the other thing, worked for a startup, all that jazz in the sports betting industry, but it all led me to building the TikTok. I essentially took the podcast and put it on TikTok, and that's how my whole journey in that social media world started. So yeah, that's the long and short of it. Oh yeah, sorry, I did used to work for NPR. Now that Tony blew up his spot, I think he's gotten so big there that they wouldn't mind. It was definitely a don't ask, don't tell in 2018. Now it's like I'm
No, for
pretty sure
sure.
he'd be able to run the whole place, but you never know. Don't want to get anybody in trouble. You guys didn't hear that?
Nice.
Don't share it. But yeah, man, it was a lot of fun, and I've been talking on the microphone ever since. And I think, again, like those reps, those mistakes were made when no one was listening to the podcast, when it was just our buddies and we
Yeah.
were just throwing it out there into the ether. So now it's hopefully honed itself and built itself a little bit, and it'll get better with time. But either way, Cups, regardless of what happens, win, lose, or draw, like I want to be collaborating with you in the future on whatever we're both building. Because I think
Likewise.
the good part between us is we're so different. Like, and we come at whatever we're going to be attacking in such different capacities that I do think the conversation would be good. And also we'd be able to get some really good takes in there.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I would love to continue to chop it up. Post so you think you can tout. We can find something that we could hopefully collaborate on a recurring basis. That'd be super cool. Yeah, one
Absolutely.
question I want to ask for you, Tony. I know we both got to get out of here soon, but if you could summarize, we're coming up on the last episode of So You Can Tout. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to do our pitches to Pete for the shows that we would like to do with him.
Yeah.
If you could summarize your show that you're going to pitch in one word without spoiling anything, do you have a word that you could use to describe it?
Oh, yeah. And it scares me. Pulling back the curtain a little bit.
Okay.
Peter's been great about this situation, and I know Cups has gone through this too. Like Peter wants these pitches to work, all three of us, and so we've had conversations with Peter about like what this pitch could be, and like brainstormed a few ideas and built it out. So Peter knows a little bit of what's coming because he wanted to sort of put us on the right track, so that way we aren't just falling on our face in this situation. And so I have had a bunch of ideas. I've bandied them around in my head for a while, went over them with a bunch of people, including Peter, and like tried to figure out, could it be this? Could it be that? Could it be this? Could it be that? And I'm very nervous because what I've landed on, and the one word I'll use to describe my pitch, and I love how I've used a whole paragraph to answer a one word question. The one word I'll use to describe my pitch is specific. And
Okay.
I worry that it's too specific, but that's the one word I'll use. What's the one word you would use?
Interesting. Wow. Now the wheels are spinning there. Man, well, the one word that I'll use is a little bit of a cop out because I think it's obvious, but
Data?
that's right. Data or data, however you want to say it. But that's my word.
Yeah.
You might have thought it would be something else. Probably not. But,
Yeah, I think
that'll
that
be
was the leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Specific.
Yeah, man.
Interesting.
And I'm excited too because I think I have no idea what's coming out of PPR Tyler, but as you said, we're all three very different people, but also our strengths are very different. So like these are going to be three wildly different pitches. That's why I said at the top,
100%.
like I don't think like whoever wins this thing, I don't think the other two lost. I think it's simply what does Peter want programming wise. So like that's essentially what he's going to get for the winner of this competition. And again, as I said in my little tweet out there, maybe we all win. Maybe that's the twist, Cups. Maybe we all have a show on Peter's channel. Wouldn't that be nice?
For some reason, I doubt it, but that would be something I'd sign for right now. You give me the dotted line, I'll sign for 3 shows.
I'd split the site credits with you. Absolutely. I'll split the big prize with you. All I need is a new computer. Give me that part of it, and then we'll go for the show. Yeah.
All right. I love that. We could talk about that.
Exactly. Well, I think because we both have a little bit of a heart out here, I do want to thank everyone for joining in. I'm happy we got to talk about the experience a little bit. I loved hearing that story about France and you running around to try and find a room to do the debate challenge.
Disaster, man.
Oh, man. What a freaking journey. Again, 4 months of absolute craziness. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Would never do it again. Hopefully it ends with us having, good futures in this industry. But Cups, thank you so much for coming on the show. Where can the people watch and find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tony. You can find me at Cups Analytics, CUPPS, spelled like my last name, all one word, on YouTube and Twitter, and actually Instagram and TikTok as well if you want some short form content. But yeah, going to continue to make some data-focused fantasy football content throughout the rest of the offseason and throughout the season. So stay tuned. Fun stuff coming. But yeah, thanks again for having me. It's been a blast.
And it's been a blast, dude. Absolutely. You're welcome on absolutely anytime. And I have no idea what the future may come. I like my schedule will be so much more open once this So You Think You Can Tout
Yes,
decision is
dude.
made, or
Yep.
it will be a whole new challenge of doing something with Peter. So who knows? Who knows what's to come? But either way, this was a blast. I had a blast. And we shall talk in the future, man. Good luck to you, Cups.
Hey, man. Good luck to you too, Tony. Looking forward to the pitch, brother.
And I pressed end.